All right, yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Lex Lethal, and today we are going to be talking about some new gear pieces. It looks like that are going to be coming out soon. They're called the Olympus Extract and the Arizine 51. So on top of the other new gear piece that we got, looks like going to be getting two more. So we'll be talking about that. What it means for new players, just some opinions of mine, what I think about it, and how it's going to affect farming and things like that. So without wasting any more time, let's go. All right, you guys. So as you can see here, I have open MSF.GG, and I know a lot of people know what MSF.GG is, but for those of the people out there that don't know, or new players out there that don't know what MSF.GG is, it's basically it's just a tool that Marvel Strike Force players can use. You can link your Discord and your roster with MSF.GG, and it will basically show you all of your characters, where you have them at, what you're farming, what you need to farm, how far you have to go for certain things. So it's definitely a great tool to utilize. If you're not utilizing it, you should definitely check it out. It's just msf.gg. It'll take you right to the website. So this is basically just a setup of all the different required uniques and all the characters that require that particular unique, and they have them all grouped up, as you can see. So these are the characters that require miasma. Here's the characters that require the chi, the focus chi, so on and so forth. So I was going through this the other day, and I happened to notice a couple of pieces in here that we don't have yet and don't have any characters in. So the first piece right here is going to be this Olympus Extract. And then here's the other new piece we got, the tempered osmium. And then if you scroll up here at the very top, we have one more final one called the Arizine 51. Again, I'm assuming that this is going to come out with the release of the next two Darkhold characters. It could be with different characters in the future. I don't really know for sure, but I am assuming that it's going to be released with Morgan Le Fay and Agatha. But I could be wrong. Now, is this something that Scopely should be focusing on? Is releasing more new gear? Well, I have a few ideas about that I would like to share with you guys, and I think on one hand, yeah, it sucks because releasing new uniques means purple, orange, and teal all starting, from the fabulous number of 0. You have none. So you're farming all of these pieces basically from scratch. But if only one character is requiring this new gear right now, then most likely you'll only have to worry about farming it, one time for that new character, such as Morgan Le Fay and the osmium that just came out. And then that's it. Then you can basically put it aside unless they start grouping more characters in with that gear piece, or newer characters with those gear pieces. But yeah, so having to farm them all, basically, having to farm a brand new gear piece, basically from 0, is going to be a little bit daunting. Maybe not so much for one character, but as more and more characters will require the gear piece, it'll become harder and harder to farm as many of these uniques that you need. So second, I think that there is a plus side to this. As you see here on MSFGG's list, they do seem to be getting kind of crowded. With specific required units for this many characters, it can be even more challenging than having to farm them for just one character, like Morgan Le Fay. But usually veteran players are going to have a lot of gear hoarded or saved up, so this might not be a problem for them. Veteran players definitely have that as an advantage. Next, if you look at this chart, it shows what characters require what uniques. There's still some room for a few. Not to mention, there's also a lot of characters on these that many people are probably never going to use. I think that it does maybe diversify the gear a little bit, but for me, I think that releasing new gear, it's okay. Especially when it's like, oh, they have a new gear piece coming out, three, 4, 5, or 6 characters. It's just for one new character. You know, it's not for, oh, we're dropping, you know, this gear piece is going to be required for, you know, 6, 7, 8 new characters. It's just this one new character is going to be required for. But it is still to be seen who else is going to be requiring these pieces later on, you know, with the rest of the horsemen and the new characters, and then finally Apocalypse. Now for newer players, what does this mean? With the release of new gear, pretty much, you know, the same thing, except that you might not need to worry really about farming it for a while, because it seems like these new pieces are only required by these newer characters, the Darkhold characters that are coming out for the horseman team. So if you end up snagging some in an orb, that's cool. You know, just try and hoard them and save them for now, unless you are planning on spending money in the game to try and get these characters unlocked. But you know, I would only recommend that if you're at least at the very minimum level of 65 or higher. I really wouldn't recommend it if you're earlier than that. I would more worry about just focusing on leveling up your account and leveling up your roster, and making yourself a little bit, you know, a little bit higher rank of a player, because right now it's really not going to matter for you. Until that point, yeah, I would just keep working on your normal grind. Just keep doing your normal thing. Don't really stress too much about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing too crazy. I think players are going to feel different about it, you know, across the board. And whether we get these pieces for Agatha and Morgan, or, you know, new future characters, is still to be seen. But I'm sure we will find out soon here with the release of Agatha. I thank you guys so much for joining me and your support. I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys, and I can't do this thing without you. So don't forget to hit that sub and that like button. Come hang out with me on Twitch on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday around 7 o'clock Pacific time. And I love you guys, man. I hope to see you there.